Aloha, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Better World with Adrienne. I am excited for this episode today because it is a topic that keeps coming up again and again and again. It's the nervous system. It's the nervous system. And as a nervous system expert, healer, specialist, a person who's obsessed with it because not only did it change my life and flip my life on its head in abundance, magic, joy, and dreams, it flips my clients' lives into abundance, magic, joy, and dreams. So today I'm going to be doing a deep dive into how to master your nervous system. When we think about the intention of this podcast, a better world, right? A better world will be built by people who have mastered their nervous system. And when you recognize that the nervous system is your greatest tool, is your greatest weapon, is your greatest magic wand, your whole life will change in the most dramatic, positive way. And that's when we liberate ourselves. That's when we liberate one another. Like when we say Loka samasta suki no bhavantu, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may my thoughts and my words and my actions directly contribute to that happiness and that freedom. We cannot do any of that if we have not deeply understood and mastered the nervous system. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to juice this with joy and information and tangible action items for you to implement today to advance your dream and your contribution. So let us call upon the altar. The altar is how we say thank you in advance to spirit. Thank you in advance to the force of life. Thank you in advance to all of the miracles that get to be channeled here today. And I'm just moving my flowers up a little bit closer for us to see. Red roses. I have a dozen red roses on the altar. I got these red roses on Venus Day, Friday, on a day where I made a very, very big financial move in my life that I will be sharing about sometime in the near future. Um, they represent abundance based in safety. Red is the root chakra. It's safety. It's the divine feminine. It is blood. It is blood from the womb. It is period blood, the blood that creates life, the blood that sustains. That is on the altar. Unconditional love, safety, and sustain. We have the element of water on the altar, bringing in cleansing, breathing in hydration, bringing in clarity and purity. We have rose quartz and clear quartz crystal on the altar, representing the purity again with the clear quartz, and then also the rose quartz just representing total full bath. What I'm really getting, I'm getting an image of a bubble bath of unconditional love. Like what if you and your energy was a bubble bath of unconditional love for yourself and others? And may that energy cover this whole podcast. May it cover the ears and the mind and the soul and the heart of every single person who receives this. You, me, all of us. I have an unscented white candle burning on the altar, and this candle is in the shape of a little inner child Buddha. So the Buddha is just awareness, and inner child is inner child joy, bringing in all healed ancestors and guides, cleansing the space in divine white light, the final piece of the altar is the element of air, our life force energy connecting our minds, bodies, and spirits, no matter where you are on this beautiful earth. Shake out your body. Inhale through your nose. Feel the pink bubble bath of love. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through your nose. Opening up your throat chakra to truth, to a new level of speaking and knowing. Exhale out the mouth. Final inhale through the nose. Hold this one at the top because you're strong, and bring an intention forth to this space. Instead of thinking about what you are going to get from this podcast, what are you going to give? What are you bringing forward? Because it's the space of giving when we can fully receive. Holding that intention with power and delight. Exhale out the mouth. If you had your eyes shut, you can flutter them open. Come back to this time, this space, this day, this location, this podcast. The portal is open, loves. Let's dive in. Okay, today's podcast episode, how to master your nervous system. You are going to walk away from this podcast with new information, with new insights, and really new ways of being in life and creation as a new earth leader. So, new earth is bringing back the ancient codes, and that's what we're doing when we're making a better world, is we're really just returning to the ancient world, the ancient ways. And how to master your nervous system. It's a very specific how. Now, I'm going to be teaching you today. You're going to be learning a lot. However, listening to this podcast opens up a new way of life. The only way for this to actually change your life is to implement it, is to make this the way you live, is to, we're in the age of information. I'm sharing information. I'm teaching concepts, right? The concept doesn't change your life until you implement it, until you integrate it, until you become it. And so with the nervous system, you're not going to master your nervous system in a podcast. You're not going to master your nervous system in a book. You're not going to master your nervous system focusing on your mindset. Okay. It's an experiential, embodied way of life. That's what it is. So if you want, I have another podcast that's very specific on this. However, I've been getting a lot of questions about this as I've been interviewed on a lot of other podcasts. People have been really coming to me for my expertise on New Earth leadership. And this is what one of the major ways that I unlock New Earth leaders with my clients is this idea of the nervous system and what it all means. I have one of the first podcasts I ever recorded. It might have been like the second or third episode, is called Channeling a Better World Through Breathwork and the Nervous System. That is very, very important and relevant. This episode is going to be more specific about all of it. So, how to master your nervous system. I have a 3-step framework that I'm going to be sharing in this episode. And a framework is just something that you can hang your hat on, something that will guide you. And so, feedback that I receive a lot is that I'm really, really good at breaking things down into digestible pieces, like very complicated things. That's something I'm really good at. Like, is it a skill that I've mastered and honed? Yes. Is it something that I've also been naturally gifted with? Yes. It's obvious in my astrology. It's obvious in my soul. So that's what I'm doing today. The first, how to master your nervous system. The first step is awareness and understanding. Okay. Awareness that your nervous system and the nervous system of every single person on this planet is the greatest weapon, resource, and tool to be leveraged for New Earth. And it will be either leveraged against you by others, by forces of darkness, or you will leverage it for the light. You will leverage it for the advancement of your agenda. You will leverage it for abundance, for magic. So when we talk about leveraging, that means you are using power on purpose in a very efficient way. Okay, I'm going to look up the definition of leverage because the exertion of force of a lever or an object used in the manner of a lever. Okay. Here's the what I like. Use to the maximum advantage. You're using it to your advantage, all right? And here's the thing. Either you will use your nervous system to your advantage, or the world will use it against you to their advantage. Either way, your nervous system is being used. All right. It's being leveraged, it's being created through. That's how powerful it is. It's up to you as a new earth leader, as a creator, as a manifester, as a powerful force of love to leverage and master your nervous system on your terms to advance your agenda of the light. Okay? Can I get a hell yes for that? The biggest things to understand about the nervous system and the subconscious mind are the same thing. All right? It is the part of your body that is only concerned with your safety. You know, when we think about mindset and we think about meditation and we think about your thoughts, and as I'm saying this, I'm literally touching my third eye because I'm like, yes, that's what we're doing here. That is your prefrontal cortex. That's your conscious mind. That's what you're aware of consciously throughout the day. That is only controlling 5% of your decisions. 5%. That's it. What controls 95% of your decisions? Your nervous system and your subconscious mind. So when you get into the game of mastering your nervous system, you start to master your full potential, your full wattage, because you're no longer playing in the realm of 5%. You're playing in the realm of 100% of you, of your decision-making process. And so the only concern, the only objective, the only purpose of the nervous system is to keep you safe. Now, what happens with the nervous system is that most people have trauma from this lifetime, from past lives, stuff stored from their bloodline in their nervous system that has sent the signal to your cells and to your DNA that certain things are unsafe, even if it's something that you want so deeply. Okay? Your nervous system will choose your safety over your happiness every single time. Your nervous system will choose your safety over your dreams every single time. Your nervous system will choose your safety over your goals, over a better world, over integrity every single time, because that's its only objective. So what happens is people have these things stored in their nervous system that have convinced them. And as I'm teaching on all of this, I want you to really think about, how is this showing up in your life? Because I will tell you right now, the difference between the gap between the life you're living today and the dream that you're working on right now all comes down to the nervous system. 95% of it. And what do I do with my clients? Well, we do that, and then we match it with strategy and systems based in your astrology, and that's when you really blast off. And then you time it with the divine timing of the universe, and that's when you really blast off. However, the 95% is what we must address first. And so there's a part of you that does not yet feel safe at a cellular level to become the version of you that can hold that dream, that can live that dream, that can steward that dream. And so it's a nervous system game. It's a nervous system game. And I love the word bringing game into it because it makes it more fun. It takes the heat off it. All right. I'm recording this episode in the middle of November 2024. Okay. Unless something crazy changes, Donald Trump has just been elected again as the president of the United States of America. All right. I'm not surprised. I am so not surprised because of the astrology and because of what I have just gotten energetically about what is going to be required for the world to wake up. And the truth is, we're going into times of revolution. We're going into times where things are going to be dark. There's going to be dark forces more on the planet. And this is going to be the catalyst for true change and truly bringing New Earth alive. Now, I've gotten so many downloads about the nervous system because, and no matter if you're American or not listening to this, no matter if you voted or not, I don't really care who you voted for. It all is a game of the nervous system. And the two-party system, you know, it the nervous system is being leveraged against people to make decisions from fear. And so there's so much fear mongering and fear being incited in the collective. And when you are in fear, you are more easily manipulated. Why? Because the 95% of your body is activated in such a way that says, I'm unsafe, danger, 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 danger. And when you're in that space, you do not have access to your prefrontal cortex. You don't have access. You're not in the state of like, oh, I'm a conscious creator. I'm manifesting. You're not in that state. You're like, fuck, I'm about to die. I gotta just do something so I don't die. It's desperation, it's fear. It's literally that's how evil advances on earth. And that's what I mean by either you will leverage your nervous system to create the life you want, or your nervous system will be leveraged against you all day, every day, when you don't realize it, and you will be making choices out of fear. Okay. And so the reason why I'm sharing this episode right now is because this is coming up so much, and people don't realize how massive this is, and they don't realize how important it is. Like, I'm seeing, I stopped trusting the government a long time ago. I stopped trusting back in 2016. I was like, oh, fuck. There's some shit going on that I don't understand. And even back in 2020, I was still in a space of like, I was very consumed by liberal. I wasn't like consuming it a lot, but I lived in a very major, super liberal city in the United States, and the propaganda on both sides is very extreme, and on both sides doesn't contain truth. And I was very manipulated by the left for a long time. And I fully like it's crazy how um radical I've gotten since I lived on Maui. I have really like living on Maui, there's a different dimension. And as I said that, literally a yellow butterfly flies by the window. I love that so much. I don't trust the government, and I don't trust the left. I don't trust the right. You know who I trust? Myself, my intuition, my body, and God source energy. Because where we're going, the systems are collapsing, right? But what's happening is that they're grasping at people's nervous systems to try and stay in power. And so that's what's happening when there's mania in the collective, when there's panic in the collective, when there's fear in the collective. So that's why I feel really inspired and called to channel this episode right now. And I was interviewed on a podcast last night before I recorded this episode, and she was asking me all about the nervous system and why it matters. And this is a huge reason why it matters because you will either be in control of it or it will control you without your knowledge. And so it's this awareness and this understanding that it's operating behind the scenes all day, every day in your life, controlling your decisions. And so it's up to you to make sure that your nervous system and your subconscious and your body, it's up to you to make sure that you are creating that safety in your own nervous system so that you automatically make decisions that support your dreams. Okay. Anytime you're making a decision from fear, you're automatically disconnected from spirit. You're automatically disconnected from your intuition. You're automatically disconnected from the light. And so this is the most important work. Like if you are considering an investment in your growth, in your healing, and you have not done deep nervous system work, that is a priority. It must be. It must be. I would be nowhere without breath work. I would be nowhere without the nervous system work I've done. Actually, I know where I would be. I would be deeply unhappy. I would be in relationships that are harmful to me. I would be so disconnected from myself and spirit. I never would have found astrology. I never would have been able to move to Maui. I never would be on the path I'm on right now, which, by the way, I don't know fully where I'm going right now. Like for real. I'm very much, if you can go back and listen to the episode Relentless Intuition, Moving to Maui, where I shared it was like a year-long process before I moved from Chicago to Maui of like my life being rearranged and like basically falling apart like behind the scenes, which when I look back on it now, it was like all falling together, right? Um, it doesn't make sense looking forward. It always makes sense looking back. That's what I'm in right now, like for real. And in a way that I never have in my whole life. That's how I know I'm about to explode in magic is when I'm like, oh, like literally what the fuck is happening? I would not be moving through it at all in ways that I'm proud of if I haven't learned how to master my nervous system as my greatest resource, as my greatest tool, as my greatest healer, as my best friend, right? So the biggest thing is awareness and understanding. It's up to you. It is controlling 95% of your decisions, and either you master it or it will be mastered for you. Either you master it to get what you want, or someone else will master it to get what they want from you, which all equals you making actions out of fear rather than love and abundance. Okay. Now, that's the first thing. The second thing, how to master your nervous system, all right, is consistent reset. Consistent reset and consistent coding. Now, there's a lot of buzz about regulate your nervous system, regulate your nervous system, regulate your nervous system. And what's happened, and this happens with everything that's powerful and healing, is that people get a hold of it and then they twist it because they know how powerful it is. And they know that if people were to really understand and gain the deep embodiment of these tools, that people would be liberated and they wouldn't be easily manipulated and they wouldn't be easily controlled. And we wouldn't be having all the challenges in our world right now. We'd be living new earth. Okay. What's happened is that people are realizing the power of the nervous system, and people that don't have your best interest at heart, and people that don't even know that they are not operating from the light are doing this just because they're not aware. People are talking about regulate, 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 regulate. And what's happened is that people are focusing on regulating their nervous system, which is very surface. It doesn't get to the root. And so it's caused this major distraction. Regulating your nervous system just means you're getting out of a panic response, which is the bare fucking minimum. That is not going to heal you. That is not going to get to the root. That is not going to reset your safety. That is not going to open your cells. That is not going to get into the DNA and really open up and release all the things that are holding you hostage at a cellular level. That keeps you up in this just the bare fucking minimum. Oh, like, thank God I'm not having a panic attack anymore. No, you deserve full healing. You deserve the full reset, and your dreams require it of you. So, consistent reset, which means you go to the root of the nervous system, you open it up with a facilitator that can hold you with safety. Do not let any random person on the internet touch your nervous system. Do not let any random person on the internet touch your subconscious mind. When you realize how important and how powerful this is, that it controls 95% of your decisions, you will be way more discerning. And this is why when people come to me about breath work, I love answering their questions. I love answering questions. I love offering testimonials. Like, I've done this so many times with people new to breath work. I've been like, "Hey, I have a list of my clients that have worked with me. If you want to reach out to them to talk to them, you can do that. If you want to watch this video where they shared their experience, you can do that." Um, because I celebrate discernment, and I can tell there's a very specific energetic difference between someone who I know is just doing their homework on what's correct for them and someone who actually just is scared to invest, or you know, they're not actually committed to healing or anything like that. Like, there's a very specific difference. I can tell if someone's given me the runaround and they're like, maybe, 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 and they're not committed to their dreams, or if there's someone who actually is gathering data about who they want to help them with their nervous system. There's a very specific energetic difference, and I can tell immediately. Consistent reset and then coding your nervous system. So the reset button, you literally push reset on your nervous system. And what I do with my clients with astrology and with shamanism and with you becoming your own healer through breath work, not yoga breathing. This is holotropic, deep, potent, transformational breathwork journeys. My modality, cosmic cellular breathwork. We do the reset and we do the coding. We code it in with new beliefs. We code it in with your dreams. We code it in with new energies, with love, abundance, expansion, opportunity. So you feel safe calling in love. You feel safe calling in your dream. You feel safe calling in that money. What happens so much is, and this is all relevant to New Earth and a better world, is that people are working towards goals and dreams, but they don't feel safe receiving it. So then they never create it because the nervous system is working against you. This is how we master it. You heal it, you reset it, and you code it consistently. Okay? This is not going to happen in one session. This is not going to happen in two sessions. The clients that I have that change their whole life, like flip it 180, like triple their income, triple their clients, like call in their soulmate and get engaged to their soulmate within 6 months. Like, these are people that are doing it consistently. They're in my long-term containers. usually as one-on-one clients, because that's how deep this stuff is. Now, my membership, we do consistent breath work. Do people create big change there? Absolutely. Is it as big and as impactful and as important as the one-on-one work? No, because it's just not as deep. Now, what happens is a lot of people work with me one on one and then they stay in my membership to continue based on a bedrock. Or people start in my membership and then they go with me one on one and then they stay in the membership. And it's like, once you start doing this work, you can't quit because you realize how epic it is. And you realize the results and you realize how you feel different and your whole life is different. But the key word is consistency. Now, between you, me, and the campfire, the whole collective had a nervous system response when Donald Trump got elected. All right. I don't care what side you are on, you had a nervous system response. Okay. A lot of people and a lot of women I know had a deep, deep, deep cellular fear response. Their witch wound got activated, feeling very, very unsafe in their sexuality, feeling very, very unsafe in their body, in their just their fucking human rights. Okay. And it makes sense. And at the very same time, they were really, they were really being activated on purpose. And all of this can make sense. And at the very same time, you are the one that is going to create the safety for yourself. You are the one that is going to create the cellular safety for yourself, no matter what. So, this is what happened when Donald Trump got elected. There was a nervous system response, and it has been coded into everybody's body. And the people that are resetting and recalibrating and coding with abundance, with love, with healing. I did a major breath work about my witch wound being activated because I felt myself going into visceral fear. Because I'm someone who I've experienced sexual abuse in this lifetime. Okay. I was having cellular memories of that come up. And so what did I do? I did breath work. So it wasn't going to be stored in my body and then holding me hostage later, controlling my decisions. That's how I kept showing up to lead. That's how just I stay in abundance. That's how I stay in truth. That's how I stay in my power to create and not give my power away to any external. Okay? Even the government, even all of this stuff that's happening when you are mastered in your nervous system. It's a way of life, by the way, and it's a process. And just thinking about this election because it was such a visceral collective response. People that haven't done nervous system healing since 2020, that whole pandemic is stored in their nervous system, controlling their decisions. All right. Every time you got turned down on a date is stored in your nervous system. Every time someone said money is the root of all evil is stored in your nervous system. Every time you tried something and failed, it's stored in your nervous system. And you either reset and code in love and abundance and truth and liberation so you can create that, or you will be controlled subconsciously to never create your dream. And this is like really, really real because I love you so much and I believe in your power so much that I will tell you the truth. All right. This is the truth about how to master your nervous system and why it matters so much. So we have first step is awareness and understanding. The second step is consistent reset. And then the third step And that's what I do with my clients. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I need this so much, and I don't love the word need because need really activates that survival aspect of life. It's a fundamental human need to feel safe. And that's what your nervous system creates or blocks. Now, your nervous system will convince you when you act from fear that you're creating safety, but what you're really doing is creating more unsafety. Like something that I keep saying to my clients and to myself is the most unsafe thing we can do is to stay comfortable. The most unsafe thing you can do is to stay comfortable because when staying in your comfort zone, you're recreating the past. And we're not going to be recreating the past if we're going to make a better world. So getting out of your comfort zone is actually safe. The unknown is actually safe. Okay. And the only way you can do that is to code it into your nervous system for real. So if you're listening and you're like, I need this, I want this, like, this is my next step, apply for one-on-one mentorship, join Angel Air, book sessions, like, let's fucking go because it's time. It's time. The final step for how to master your nervous system is choose an expansive ecosystem. So, one way you can really master your nervous system, in addition to the full reset and not the, trendy regulation mumbo jumbo, is make sure you are in situations that nurture you. Make sure you're in situations that celebrate you. Make sure you're in situations that support your expansion and that support your growth and support love and abundance. Like, I've been learning about this so deeply, let me tell you. I have lived by myself for 8 years until about 4 months ago. Um, I've been with family for 4 months. And I have gotten such a front row seat to how important a nurturing, expansive ecosystem is. Like, even just small, quote unquote, small words or mindsets or just general like cultural things. And then, other people's nervous systems that are around you. Like, if you are surrounded by people who are operating from fear and from scarcity and from they have never reset their nervous system. Your nervous system picks up on that. And so this is why, for me specifically, I've been really doubling down on, okay, my mentors, my coaches, my healers, my friends. Like I even said to some of my closest friends, I'm like, yo, this season of life for me, I'm going to need more support as a friend. Like I just know that right now. And getting yourself in these spaces and connecting to Mother Earth, which is very powerful for the nervous system because it reminds you of the truth of who you are and, safety and abundance. And it's really, really powerful and important to be in nature. Choose an expansive ecosystem that's going to support you in mastering your nervous system. If you are surrounded by people who are having their nervous systems being leveraged against them, it is going to be very hard for you to be the only one who's playing offense with the nervous system. They're not even playing at all. They're getting played. And I don't love saying that. That sounds like, there's so many different ways that can be interpreted. However, that's the truth is people are getting played. People are getting played at a nervous system subconscious level. And what we're doing, that's so powerful. And it's like the secret weapon. It really is. Like people are like, how do you do A, B, C, D, E? How? I'm like, this is a secret weapon. I've accessed the part of me that controls 95% of everything, and I'm never going back. I'm never going to the other way. I've seen too much to not know. It's not even a belief at this point. It's a knowing. I fucking know. And it's not, it's data. It's literally, yeah, I choose the 95% over the 5%. And what do? I get the 95% on lock, and then with the 5% of my brain, I strategically steer my ship, right? So remember the metaphor. If you're new to my world, or the metaphor that I use for my work is your mind, your when you set sail on the adventure of your life, your body's the ship. That's the nervous system, controls 95%. Your mind is your steering wheel, 5%. The astrology is the weather, and your unique natal chart is the map. People ask me how I create, how I manifest, how I help my clients. That's it in a nutshell. That's it in a nutshell. So these are the 3 steps for how to master your nervous system. 1, awareness and understanding. You've gained a lot of awareness and understanding today. Congratulations, your life changed. 2, consistent reset and coding. All right. If you want to actually take that forward and implement it, because like I said, listening to this episode is not going to create this transformation for you. It's going to show you what gets to happen and why it matters, but it's not going to create the cellular nervous system transformation. That's what happens in the reset and the coding. Links, all the links in the show notes if you want to do that with me in Cosmic Cellular Breathwork. And then finally, choose an expansive ecosystem for yourself. And I realize that, and I'm realizing this right now in my own journey, is that it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. We're not always going to be around, all the people we want to be around all the time, or all the situations. And there's seasons of life that are more uncertain and more challenging than others. And at the very same time, you can choose an expansive ecosystem. Healers, mentors, coaches, friends, your inner circle, people that have mastered their nervous system or are committed to it. Because the thing is, we're never going to fully master the nervous system. Just like we're never going to stop learning about spirit and spirituality. There's always going to be more to learn about astrology. There's always going to be more to learn about your soul and your potential and your dreams and your relationships. It's a lifestyle, and it's a lifelong embodiment. So that is this episode. I hope this supported you. I'm really glad. I'm so glad I did it. It just feels really massively important right now. And I just want you to remember that no matter what the fuck is happening in the world, you are powerful beyond measure. And the way to access this power is through taking command and leveraging your nervous system as your greatest superpower, as a force of love and change. Okay? Do not ever forget. And you can always come to this podcast to remember who the fuck you are. And that's a big reason why this is not on social media, why I own it, because I want to be able to talk about this stuff no matter what. If you're not on my email list yet, by the way, make sure you subscribe. There's going to be interesting things happening with technology in the next year, and I want to make sure we are connected no matter what. I love you so much. If you want to work with me, the ways you can work with me are in the Angel Air membership, which is based in breathwork and astrology. It is powerful women from all over the world creating dreams together that are part of a better world. It's so epic. And yes, it is women only. It is earth angels. It is ambitious mystics. The other ways you can work with me are going deep one-on-one. So I'm welcoming 3 one-on-one mentorship clients right now. I'm so excited to meet you, to welcome you, to really um, just unleash your full power as you lead your mission, as you lead your vision, as you lead your dream. Like I work with leaders, and all of the stuff that I'm talking about is very cutting edge. That's what New Earth is all about. So apply through the link in the show notes. If you don't know what is correct for you, you can always email me. You can always message me on Instagram. I'm happy to drop in and share my recommendations for you. Yeah, I love you so much. And go out there, be the change, be the light, be the real you. Go make a stranger smile because it charges the whole field. You have no idea what anybody is going through on any given day. So be that light. I love you so much, and I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrian.